PlanetSide 2 doesn't quite fit the mold of a free-to-play, massively multiplayer shooter. There are no rounds to win, and victories are often undone before the next time you log in. It's tough to learn, and progress is slow. However, there are so many other things going for PlanetSide 2 that I keep coming back to it. The epic scale of the fights, the sights of the world, and the variety of ways to approach battle as part of a squad and in vehicles made my experience well worth the growing pains. PlanetSide 2 has an ambiguous start. Beyond their uniform color, logo, and theme song, don't expect to learn much more about the motivations of the three factions. I chose the Vanu solely based on their Mass Effect influenced design and theme song, but in the heat of battle, I sometimes have trouble differentiating between my purple teammates and the red-themed Terran Republic. My first few hours in PlanetSide 2 were a bit rough. I wasn't leveled high enough to purchase one-time uses of the many military vehicles, and going it alone Rambo style wasn't fun. When I became more of a team player, my experience improved dramatically. I got to warp to huge battles with player counts in the triple digits, and capturing persistent bases and checkpoints on the giant map felt like an accomplishment. Being a part of a squad increased my XP earnings too, and even though people seem to rely more on the simple order system instead of vocal communications, I felt a sense of camaraderie during quieter moments as we packed into a Sunderer combat bus to drive across the plains in between bases. It also helped that after a few hours exploring the relatively drab, noob-only continent of Koltyr, I moved on to explore the more alien-feeling regions like the Arctic plains of Esmir or the arid deserts of Indar. There, the sights are a bit more breathtaking, and the more open layout with multiple paths to objectives didn't put me in the line of fire quite as often. While there are definitely prettier shooters on the PS4, PlanetSide 2 manages to keep a steady 30 frames per second frame rate during even the most hectic of battles, with the only stuttering movement caused by lag. Exploring the 6 soldier classes gave my PlanetSide 2 experience some variety. I started as the well-rounded jetpack-equipped light assault trooper, and when I got tired of straightforward running and gunning, I could camouflage myself and either do stealth kills as an infiltrator or work on taking out the enemy's big guns as a heavy assault. But I had just as many great moments that came from helping from just behind the front lines, playing as a medic or a vehicle-fixing engineer. Taking a new approach by manning a vehicle or gun changes things up even more, with everything from ATVs and tanks to aircraft like fighters and dropships. Like the different classes, there's a learning curve to learning the controls, which are shown far too briefly when you get behind the wheel. And I did have some early frustration and vehicular mishaps that cost me a bunch of the regenerating nanite currency. However, playing as a mech suit and laying waste to enemy troops with dual-wielded heavy weapons and powerful armor was probably my most exhilarating experience in PlanetSide 2. It might take a long time to afford new weapons or get meaningful upgrades like flying vehicles and the mech suit, especially if you don't pay to speed up your progression. But getting there is a good time. It's always darkest before the dawn, and my experience learning to fight in PlanetSide 2's huge battles was the price I paid for the fun that comes later. Expect vagueness, under-explanation, and frustration at the start, but perseverance is rewarded with sci-fi warfare on a scale you'll rarely see in other shooters. For a cost of $0, it's a sight shooter fans should see for themselves. For more on PlanetSide 2, stick with IGN.